Whew. And good morning, good morning, good morning. Uh, we got Rob in the building. Woo. We got AL. She, we here. Snowman. How y'all doing? Not as energetic. I'll probably just stay on for a little bit. See what we got cooking. Man, this is my first official live stream of the new year. Happy New Year for all. Hopefully things are going well. I think this is a time that a lot of us need to have new challenges, new adventures, but be the same old you, or less, or at least, be able to understand what's there to be needed, to be focused. Antonio, what's up? I think that a lot of people get stuck without having any type of focus or sense of duty, especially during the holiday season that just passed. There's plenty of people who, unfortunately, put a lot of pressure on themselves. Unfortunately, do not take the time to make a good evaluation and account for themselves. Fundamentally, you want to be able to have some significant growth. But with that growth, it's got to be realistic and sometimes, if not most of the time, scheduled. That being said, on my behalf, I like to say that, hey, I'm focused up this last year, which was a very interesting year. Somewhat sad in many ways, somewhat profitable in others. But you have to be able to know how to carry on. Sub bucket, you have to know how to live, not just for yourself, but the people who could make it. You have to make strong networks with people who are worthy of your time. You must always treasure your memories, but those same memories can never be bigger than your dreams. You must take a honest assessment. Sometimes you're going to need to physically write down and speak out your goals. Sometimes you're going to need counsel. Never be afraid to ask for assistance. Never be afraid to say that I need help. In all reality, we need to stop putting on burdens that we know that might be outside of our journey. There's some people that we cannot grow with. regardless of how many times you may throw out a helping hand. Never being afraid to teach yourself, and also never to be afraid to teach others, but also learn yourself. Sometimes we got to learn how to boldly go forward, but humbly have some compassion and some comprehension. I think that's one of the main reasons why so many brothers put their health secondary. Shout out to Bucket for the $10 super chat. Appreciate the message, Officer Falcon. Salute. Woo! I think that's the reason why so many brothers put so much pressure on themselves. This is the reason why so many of them unknowingly think that they're all alone. And sometimes you gotta fight with the army you have and not with the army you want. What's up, Snowman? And realistically, once again, we can't put but so much that honestly we need to be accepting on our skills, our abilities, and our limitations. And there's nothing wrong with knowing your limitations as long as you know how to grow from them. You're going to take the righteous steps to build. But I think that's the fear that we've been taught. We've never been taught to be a unified force. We've never been taught that to call in backup, to get reinforcements. For some odd reason, we want to take on all the burdens without saying realistically, this is out of my league. I'm going to get somebody who actually, this is their specialty. We have to know when pride is good and when pride is dangerous. When your health, hey, what's up, James? When the health of yourself and the conditions of people that you love are being affected, you might want to slow back down, do a situational report or sit rep, and see and judge what's going on. I know many of times people expect much from us. People always say, but a real man does this. And I tell them, if you understand what real men are about, you would also know the pressures that are held on the men. Right now, the topic is just kind of open. I think so many times we get caught up on what other people's definition of real men is that you don't take the time to actually refine it yourself. I think this past year, brothers have had an open eye of understanding that they're more than being a CompuServe. They're more than how much money they can make. They're more than just a degree. They're a human being and a human doing. And I think that's the one thing we need to actually understand the differences between being a human being and a human doing. It is okay to demand respect, to demand dignity. James said, so many people want you to be everything they weren't. I'm experiencing this with my female family members. They want to deal with me when it benefits them, but expect everything unconditional. Hey, Kareem, Happy New Year. No, I mean, yeah, you got to think. What did Chris Rock say? Women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men, we always under conditions. I think that we're ready to have those ugly conversations about those conditions and demand our respect. I think it's time not just to be say it, but to be about it. As you can see, in the progressive years, I've been in this space for 7 years and started my channel in about what? This is my third year in June. You have to think. right? All these years, what did we do? We got the message out. We had debates, especially for those of you who missed early Manosphere 2.0. Those were some of the greatest debates ever. And I was fortunate to be a part of some of those. Now, what you're seeing during 3.0 was when all the intelligentsia, all the professors, the PhDs came into the space and verified everything that was being said. Once the literature from the Moynihan Report, from Clark, and others came out and gave us validity, now the move is to political power to change these laws, get people in places to move step by step. There's some steps that are going to be slower than others and some quicker. That's just life. But I think that's one of the things that we have to work on, especially with black men, is patience. We're always taught that, well, things come quickly. I appreciate that, James. Y'all definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things. Men like you and BGS, Dr. Johnson, Mr. Samuels, and Tommy Curry, etc. Appreciate it. That's not a bad group to be associated with, is it? I'm humbled. I think it's about time to start the political process and start grooming young men to actually not be afraid to take the reins of power. The one thing I tell a lot of people is that don't be afraid to be the leader. Don't be afraid to express what needs to be expressed. Does it always have to be rude? No. It could be tactful. It could be said with compassion. But if there's times that call for straightforward, shout out to Element of Gray. Woo! There's going to be times where the message needs to be given straight. Never be afraid of that. And I think that's one of the issues that we go through, is that people want to underestimate the power of the space. People want to underestimate the knowledge, information, and the experience of the young men and the older men and some women. Yeah, I gotta excuse me. I worked last night, so came home, chilled out, and was on Art's panel, but took a nap. Then I had to take my son to school, so I gotta be dedicated to y'all sometimes. But I think that it's okay to fall, but it's not okay to stay down. And personally, for me, last year was a tough year where I'm not going to lie to you. Your boy took a hell of a fall. But by the end of the year, he didn't stay down. As a matter of fact, because of the way that I carried on and dust myself off and stood back up, I was in a better point now than I was the same time last year. I want somebody to put these 3 words in the chat. Problem, promise, provision. Problem, promise, provision. And I got this from John Hagee years ago, a preacher in Texas. Some may agree with him, some may not. But hey, I listen to anybody who's saying anything right and necessary. How you look at your problem determines how long you stay in your problem, and most importantly, what happens afterwards. That's what I think people need to realize. And I need you to put this in the chat too. How you look at your problem determines how long you stay in your problem and what happens after it. There's many of us who overcame cancers, diseases, bankruptcy, loss of family member or friend. Shout out to electrician, man. Woo! Gotta give you that salute.
By the power of Grayskull.
Doesn't that just make you more masculine watching that shit? Shout out to electrician, always a supporter. You know, I've probably got some of the best down home supporters, like, of course, electrician 480, F Holiday, Rob Marsh, fellow police, you know, Snowman, Kareem, Toya, Shonda, Bucket. I mean, I'm always humbled. There's I'm listening, Angry Black Man, fellow Baltimorean, James Keel. It's it's funny. I'm always humbled because there are times as a content creator, I gotta be totally honest. It's very easily it's very easy to become disenfranchised. It's very easy to become depressed or unmotivated to do content. And a lot of you guys supported when nobody else supported. Even when I don't pocket watch. Number one, I'm the guy who tells you or anybody, even when especially when I'm on other people's panels, donate to Black male media because you never know what that person is going through. You never know what that person needs. And you motivate them not by sharing, by liking, by supporting. I mean, there's multiple, and I never pocket watch because I know, like anybody else know, everybody doesn't have it every day. Everybody does not have it every day. But every share, every like, it motivates us. And you never know that somebody out there needs to hear the message.
Get your ass off this.
Must be the cat out there. Something about the damn cat. And don't forget to support, you know, guys like Snowman. I think Snowman has a lot of good potential. We're going to try to help him get some clips together for the shorts. Charles, I have a question. I'm thinking about becoming a state trooper in Kentucky. What are your thoughts on that? Um, that's a good look. Do you have any kids or family members I mean, are you married? Are you single? Kids? If you really want to go to state troopers, I think it's a great look, especially if you don't have kids or anything like that. So, if you don't have kids, it's a great look because, I think you got to live there at the barracks, I mean, or whatever training facility. That's traditionally how it is for most state troopers. I don't know if you go home the weekends. I think you do. Some don't quote me on it, but I want. How long have you done your research about it? Because how much are they starting with? Have you looked at the benefits? I mean, the one thing I'll say, being a state trooper compared to being a local municipality law enforcement officer, is that your backup within your own jurisdiction may be 30, 20, 30 minutes away. So most likely, if you're calling for help, it's going to come from another jurisdiction. I would say always keep your physical fitness, always have situational awareness. I mean, this goes for state, local, and federal law enforcement agencies, and just common sense, period, for anybody, any yokel, local, or citizen. But I would say it's a good look. I would research it, see if you got to live with the barracks or not, and have at it. Just make sure you start working out now. And one of the most dangerous things you could do is a traffic stop on the highway. One is because of the drivers, and two, people get a bit more hostile when they're on expressways and highways. And don't forget to give them the snowman a follow on TikTok, the new Snowman Media. I like the name Snowman Media. Got to get some of them shorts out, man. And shout out to guys like Amy, man, because god damn, I mean, when they officially came out with the shorts, I think he started at like what, 29, 24,000. And man, when it's something like he just found his groove and took off like a rocket, man. Jesus, he went from 1 month 24,000 to 270 right now, 280 and counting. I mean, he's going off like a rocket. And I mean, the beautiful thing about the shorts alone, and this is for anybody who wants to do content, the shorts will introduce you to the world very quickly and be like, hey, I like this guy. I want to hear more about him. So don't be afraid to use the technology. Don't be afraid to use strategies of other content creators, please. Oh yeah, that's get monetized. In the Black Manosphere, we don't believe in the poor righteous teacher, man. Get your money, get your benefits. Yeah, he should flood the market. He put the work in, didn't he? So definitely. I mean, this new year should be something of growth. You should have a short term, mid term, and a long term goal. Once you stay within those realms, most people are safe. keep yourself realistic. I mean, think about it. Let's say if you wanted to increase your bench press by 50 pounds by the end of the year, there's certain strides you're going to have to hit. You're going to have a short term goal of, let's say, I'm going to find out what my 100% max is, and I'm going to start, boom, that's your short term goal. Seeing what your max is, for example. Boom. Okay, I'm going to see how to do proper technique. Boom, short term goal. I'm going to make sure that I have the proper equipment, the proper gear, and the proper safety protocols. Boom. Because a lot of times when you're lifting weights or you're doing an exercise period, a lot of people fail in results because they don't either one, do the exercise properly, or two, keep themselves motivated, or they don't do it to the right amount of intensity. The midterm goals is like, hey, I want to improve, I want to make it to a certain fitness expo or go to, what do they call it? A seminar to help. That's a midterm goal. Plus, you want to keep a little notebook to track what you've been doing since then, from the first time you did it to the midterms. That's part of your midterm strategy. You don't have to just do weightlifting. You could insert computer programming, the police academy. Strategy works the same for damn near everything. And by your long term goal, by the end of the year, you should be at that 50-pound increase or as close to it as possible if you worked at it. And in some cases, you may even exceed it. And that's how easy people could actually start to do to change their situation when, you know, when you actually go through that journey. I think one of the biggest things, and salute, hey, don't forget to salute and support the snowman. Hey, he's got some things, and if you like sports, that's the best guy I could say I could point you to. Unless y'all still like the everyday blue pill sportscasters who don't talk about the real shit. But if you want sports from a red pill lens, check out the snowman. I think that ultimately, if we actually start to do things of that nature, you'll start to see a lot of growth. And I think that we need to actually learn how to enjoy the journey instead of always wanting the destination. I think that's one of the cardinal sins of the black community, man, woman, and child, is that we don't enjoy the journey. And once you enjoy the journey, it makes you appreciate what you've been through. It makes you appreciate the fact that, hey, I could stick with something that I could accomplish it as well. There's going to be more talks about success. I'm going to try to dedicate a few days, especially if, once everything comes through with the Lexington Market and their police department. Have a good one, man. Don't be a stranger. Subscribe. Once I get hired with this other agency and see what their schedule is, maybe I can actually format and schedule certain times to do more live streaming. And, as you can see the email, give me your ideas of what you want me to talk about. So I'm going to say this in ending. It's going to be a hell of a year. And I drive of growth. But just remember one thing. You don't start till you take your first step. In the words of Red Fox, the best way to get on your feet is to get off your ass. So I'm going to hit y'all guys up later today. Woo!